All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Government announces reforms in 8 key sectors. FDI in defence production hiked. Coal and mineral mining opened for private players. Phase 3 of lockdown ends today. Punjab government extends lockdown till 31st of May. Health Ministry issues guidelines for preparedness and response to COVID-19 in urban areas. Centre launches online dashboard to monitor movement of migrant workers. Railways ready to run Shramik special trains from all districts connected with rail network, says Railways Minister. 3 flights from UAE to arrive in India under Vande Bharat mission today. INS Jalashwa to reach Kochi this afternoon from Malé with 588 Indians on board. And Cyclone Umpun to intensify into a severe cyclonic storm. Met Department warns of heavy rain in West Bengal and Odisha. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveiled the structural reforms for various sectors to help build a self-reliant India under the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign yesterday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had on 12th of May, in his address to the nation, announced a special economic package equivalent to 10% of India's GDP, amounting to 20 lakh crore rupees. Addressing a media briefing in New Delhi yesterday, Finance Minister, in her announcement of the 4th tranche of measures to address the economic situation in the country due to COVID-19, outlined structural reforms with focus on 8 sectors of coal, minerals, defence production, civil aviation, power distribution companies, space sector and atomic energy. In a major announcement, Ms. Sitharaman informed that foreign direct investment (FDI) limit in defence manufacturing under automatic route will be raised from 49% to 74%. With an aim to boost Make in India, Finance Minister announced that a list of weapons or their parts would no longer be imported and their indigenous production will be ensured within the country. The government will notify year-wise timelines to ban such imports.
That FDI limits are being raised from 49% to 74%. Of course, it will have the security clearances and everything else, as always. And then we'll also have a mechanism established so that time-bound defence procurement processes happen.
In another historic structural reform announced by Ms. Sitharaman, corporization of Ordnance Factory Board to improve autonomy, accountability and efficiency among ordnance suppliers was done. Finance Minister announced private sector participation in coal sector through a revenue sharing mechanism. She added that this will introduce competition and transparency in the coal sector. Ms. Sitharaman informed that 50 blocks will be available for bidding at the earliest. Detailed roadmap for investment of 50,000 crore rupees towards development of infrastructure for evacuation of coal has also been outlined.
The coal bed methane also will be auctioned so that these coal beds which are with Coal India but untapped also can benefit the country. So the coal bed methane extraction also will happen through auctioning. 50,000 crores will be spent by Government of India for creating evacuation infrastructure.
Announcing a much-awaited sectoral reform in the aviation section, Finance Minister announced easing of restrictions on further utilization of the airspace. The decision will rope in a benefit of 1,000 crore rupees for the aviation sector, as it will drastically reduce the time and fuel consumed by the commercial flights. Finance Minister added that 6 more airports will be put up for auction under the PPP model for their operation and management.
6 more airports are for auction and the Airports Authority of India shall do it on public-private basis, PPP basis. Additional investments also are likely to happen by private players in about 12 airports which they are already holding for better world-class facilities to be brought in. So majorly airports in India will become far more with better facility and customer experience.
She said the government will rationalize the tax regime for maintenance, repair and overhaul MROs of the aircrafts in the country. Earlier, the aircrafts had to fly abroad from the MROs. Ms. Sitharaman informed that the government will release a tariff policy with reforms including consumer rights, promotion of industry and sustainability of sector for the power distribution companies. She also announced the proposal to privatize the power departments in union territories, ensuring better services and efficiency in power distribution. In another major reform, Finance Minister announced that the government will boost private sector investments in social infrastructure projects like hospitals.
For creation of social infrastructure projects which are like hospitals, because India needs a ramp up on social infrastructure, government has made a provision for 8,100 crores, that will be the total outlay, which will be going in the form of viability gap funding. So, in general, for most projects which are supported by government or states or the statutory bodies, 20% is what is given as viability gap funding. But in this case of social infrastructure, government has decided to give 30% viability gap funding.
Opening up the Indian space sector, the minister announced boosting up of private participation in space-related activities. A major push to the decision is aimed at by allowing private sector to use ISRO facilities and other relevant assets to improve their capabilities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has welcomed the measures announced by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman yesterday. In a tweet, he said the announcement covers a wide array of important sectors such as coal, minerals, defence, aviation, space and atomic energy. Prime Minister said the measures and reforms announced will create many business opportunities and contribute to economic transformation.
Industry body ASSOCHAM and FICCI have welcomed the measures announced by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman as part of fourth tranche of economic package. FICCI President Dr. Sangeeta Reddy said that government is turning the crisis into an opportunity for India. She said the measures announced were in the same direction of creating more opportunities for Indian industry and leveraging the strengths of both large business houses as well as startups. ASSOCHAM Secretary General Deepak Sood said major policy decisions across the most critical and strategic sectors unveiled by Finance Minister yesterday clearly demonstrates that Narendra Modi government's resolve to stay on course of bold economic reforms undaunted by global health crisis. Distribution of food grains to migrants under the Atmanirbhar Bharat package has started in several states across the country. The government had announced that around 8 crore migrants who do not have ration card either from the centre or state government will get 5 kg per person of wheat or rice and 1 kg of chana per family free of cost for the next 2 months. The announcement was made on Thursday while announcing the second tranche of relief measures. A report.
Delivery of food grains under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme has already started by Food Corporation of India. 1109 metric ton rice was issued from Tamil Nadu and 151 metric ton from Kerala to the state governments for further distribution to the eligible migrant labour. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution has said that every arrangement has been made to deliver food grains under this scheme across the country. Sufficient stocks have been positioned in every state and union territory for meeting the requirements in any part of the country. The relief measure costing 3,500 crore rupees with allocation of around 8 lakh metric tons of food grains will be totally funded by the central government. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
Today is the last day of the third phase of nationwide lockdown to curb the spread of COVID-19. The dates of the fourth phase of lockdown are yet to be announced. During his address to the nation on the 12th of this month, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said that the fourth phase of lockdown will have a completely different form with new rules. Prime Minister had said that based on the suggestions from the states, information related to Lockdown 4 will be given to the public before 18th May. A report.
On 19th March, Mr. Modi announced the Janata Curfew. It was like a mock drill to prepare the citizens for a longer lockdown. During Janata Curfew on 22nd March, people stayed indoors from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and in the evening clapped for the COVID-19 warriors and thanked them. 2 days after Janata Curfew on 24th March, addressing the nation, the Prime Minister announced a nationwide lockdown for 3 weeks till 14th April. In a short video message on 3rd April, Mr. Modi urged people to switch off all lights of their houses at 9 p.m. on 5th April and light diyas and candles to show that the nation is united in this hour of crisis. On April 14, the last day of first phase of lockdown, the Prime Minister announced extension of lockdown till 3rd May. Addressing the nation on 12th May, Mr. Modi announced an economic package of 20 lakh crore rupees and the 4th phase of lockdown. The details of the 4th phase of lockdown will be announced soon. During the lockdown period, Prime Minister interacted with chief ministers, leaders of different countries and peoples from all walks of life. Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh has announced that the lockdown in the state will continue till the 31st of this month. He added his government will lift the curfew restrictions from tomorrow. In a live Facebook interaction, the Chief Minister indicated the resumption of limited public transport and maximum possible relaxations in the non-containment zones from tomorrow. He said the containment zones will be strictly sealed to enable resumption of shops and small businesses in the non-containment areas. He added the details of all relaxations will be announced by tomorrow, taking into account the new guidelines of the Centre for Lockdown 4. The Chief Minister, however, made it clear that educational institutes will continue to remain closed in the interest of the safety and security of the children. Union Health Ministry has issued detailed guidelines for preparedness and response to COVID-19 in urban areas. The document contains surveillance, containment and clinical management measures, among others, for densely populated urban settlements. As per the guidelines, the surveillance system for COVID-19 in urban areas should be strengthened. Strict perimeter control should be maintained in containment zones with Section 144 enforced to ensure people remain in their dwelling units. It was said that in most of the cities or towns, the disease surveillance system is not as well organized as in the rural areas. The guideline says, therefore, the surveillance system will be strengthened for surveillance and contact tracing mechanism. The guideline said an orientation training will be organized by the Chief Medical Officer or Executive Health Officer to train the identified surveillance workers. It would emphasize on the basic information on COVID-19, orientation on basic do's and don'ts with focus on hand hygiene, respiratory hygiene, environmental sanitation and use of face masks.
Government has amended its export policy regarding masks. All kinds of non-medical masks, including those made up of cotton, silk, wool and knitted material, will be allowed to be exported. All medical masks will, however, continue to remain prohibited for export. Government had earlier completely prohibited export of any kind of mask from the country. In our series, Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, President of Indian Medical Association, Dr. Rajan Sharma said, citizens need to follow basic hygiene and social distancing norms, especially when government has allowed a set of relaxations in the third phase of lockdown.
Post-lockdown, when we are seeing these things opening up, please learn to respect these things, follow rules, be honest, law-abiding citizens. For a population of 130 crores, you cannot have so many policemen and so many doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals to treat you. Please observe isolation in case of any problem, consult your doctor and be truthful to your doctor.
The Centre has asked the states to use online portal National Migrant Information System, NMIS, for capturing the information on movement of migrants and for better interstate coordination. In a letter to the state Chief Secretaries, Union Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla said that to capture the information regarding movement of migrants and facilitate the smooth movement of stranded people across states, National Disaster Management Authority (NDMA) has developed an online dashboard NMIS on the existing NDMA GIS portal. He said the portal will maintain a central repository and help the sending as well as receiving state and district to ask for and give their acceptance in an online format seamlessly. This system will help in speedy communication between states without creating additional work at the level of the field officers. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Government announces reforms in 8 key sectors. FDI in defence production hiked. Coal and mineral mining open for private players. Phase 3 of lockdown ends today. Punjab government extends lockdown till 31st May. Health Ministry issues guidelines for preparedness and response to COVID-19 in urban areas. Centre launches online dashboard to monitor movement of migrant workers. Railways ready to run Shramik special trains from all districts connected with rail network, says Railway Minister. 3 flights from UAE to arrive in India and the Vande Bharat mission today. INS Delashwa to reach Kochi this afternoon for Malé with 588 Indians on board. And Cyclone Umphum intensify into a severe cyclonic storm. Met Department warns of heavy rain in West Bengal and Odisha. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
The government has said Indian Railways is ready to run Shramik special trains from all the districts connected by the rail network to ensure safer and quicker transportation of migrants. Union Minister of Railways Piyush Goyal has asked the district collectors of the country to prepare a list of stranded labourers and their destinations and apply it to Railways through State Nodal Officer. Indian Railways has got the capacity to run almost 300 Shramik special trains a day. The Ministry of Railways in a statement said full capacity operationalization of the railways rakes would provide significant relief to the migrants across the country who are seeking to go to their home states. It said once the information about migrants wishing to go back to their home states is made available from each district, then railways can take further action to help operationalize the trains. It said so far, more than 15 lakh migrants have already been transported by the railways to their home states and almost 1,150 Shramik special trains have been operationalized. It said Indian Railways can easily transport almost double number of migrants per day. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh has said the centre is seriously considering every single request of the state governments to facilitate transportation of migrant workers. During a video conference on COVID-19 with the chief secretaries and senior officials of the 8 northeastern states, Dr. Jitendra Singh said a mechanism has been put in place to receive the list of passengers from governments of the northeastern region. An ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees each for the next of kin of those who lost their lives due to the unfortunate accident in Auraiya, Uttar Pradesh, has been approved from the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund. 50,000 rupees each for the injured has also been approved.
Uttar Pradesh government has taken a serious note of road accidents of migrant workers returning in state by trucks, bikes and other unsafe means of transport. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has appealed labourers not to travel on foot and by other unsecured means of transport. He said the workers should not become impatient as government is bringing back stranded workers by trains and sending them by state-run buses in secured manner. More from our correspondent.
As of now, more than 5,64,000 stranded workers have been brought back by 450 workers in special train in the state. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has directed all district magistrates in the state to stop the trucks and vehicles transporting migrant workers immediately and seize them after filing case against them. Meanwhile, the government has decided to impose a penalty of ₹100 for not using face cover or mask at public places for first and second time, and ₹500 will be charged if anybody violates rules for third time and further. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
3 flights have been scheduled from the UAE under the Vande Bharat mission today. The second phase of the Vande Bharat mission to bring back stranded Indian nationals began yesterday and will continue till the 22nd of this month. More from our correspondent.
Amidst the global pandemic, distressed Indians continue to fly back to India from various destinations abroad. From UAE, there are 3 flights which have been scheduled to Kerala under the Vande Bharat mission today. 2 flights are scheduled from Dubai, 1 to Kochi and the other to Kannur, while 1 flight is scheduled from Abu Dhabi to Kochi. Priority is being given to distressed blue-collared workers, medical emergency cases, pregnant women, transit tourists, and elderly people to go back on these special flights. All passengers are being screened with the help of the UAE health authorities, and those found asymptomatic will be allowed to board the flight. Kanchan Prasad, AIR News, Dubai.
Indian Navy ship INS Jalashva will reach Kochi today, bringing back 588 Indian nationals on board from Maldives' capital of Male. The ship had left Male yesterday and is expected to reach Kochi late afternoon. A report.
The arrival of INS Jalashva to Kochi will mark the completion of Samudra Setu mission from Maldives. Around 1,500 Indian nationals have been evacuated from the neighbouring country during past 10 days. The ship was to originally bring around 700 people, but many residing in far-off islands could not reach Male on Friday to board the ship due to bad weather. Maldives has around 27,000 resident Indians and around 5,000 had registered for their repatriation. Indian High Commission in Male has said that they are carrying out demand survey for flight services to various cities back home, and further evacuation will be carried out by air. Santosh Kumar for AIR News, Colombo.
In Tamil Nadu, 477 people were tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday, taking the total number to 10,585. The death toll has surged to 74, with 3 people succumbing to the disease in the last 24 hours.
A record 939 people have been discharged on a single day yesterday, reducing the active case load to 6,970 patients. It is as opposed to 477 new cases. Meanwhile, the state government has decided to send about 10,000 guest workers per day back to their home states based on their demand. As there are reports of demonstrations at several places by guest workers for their early return, the State Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy has made an appeal to them yesterday to be patient till the special trains are made available. It has also been promised that the state government will bear their train fare. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
In Telangana, 55 more people tested positive for coronavirus yesterday, with 8 more reporting positive. The number of migrants coming to the state testing positive has gone up to 52. With this, the total COVID-19 cases in the state has gone up to 1,509 in the state. In Gujarat, the number of COVID-19 cases crossed the 10,000 mark, with 1,057 fresh positive cases added yesterday. State Health Department announced that fresh cases include 709 super spreaders from Ahmedabad. The death toll in the state rose to 625 yesterday, with the addition of 19 new deaths yesterday. A report.
Explaining the hike in the number of cases, Principal Secretary Jayanti Ravi said, besides the 348 infections recorded yesterday, the tally includes 709 super spreaders who were found positive in Ahmedabad during the test conducted over the last week. She said a massive screening of 33,500 such super spreaders was carried out by Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation to contain the further spread of COVID-19. The recovery rate in the state remained at 39%, with a total of 273 patients were discharged yesterday. The total number of COVID-19 patients in Ahmedabad district rose to 8,144. 1,049 cases have been reported from Surat, while 639 cases from Vadodara. Meanwhile, Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation declared 6 treatment beds for private hospitals designated as COVID-19 hospitals. Aparna Khun, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
In Maharashtra, the total number of COVID-19 patients crossed 30,000 mark yesterday, with the addition of 1,606 patients in a single day. More from our correspondent.
In the backdrop of rising trend of COVID-19 patients in Maharashtra, Malegaon has become the model of recovery from the disease for the state. Response from the citizens, coordination in the system and focused treatment have become the 3 pillars of success story of Malegaon, as the biggest recovery percentage was registered in the Powerloom city. Meanwhile, BMC is trying to utilize the famous Wankhede Stadium for COVID-19 facilities. Mayor of Mumbai, Kishori Pednekar, visited the stadium yesterday and took stock of the facilities available there. BMC has also modified best buses into ambulances to transfer asymptomatic and mild COVID-19 patients. Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh visited Shahunagar police station in Dharavi to pay respect to an assistant police inspector who died of COVID-19. Dharavi, Dadar and Mahim are the main hotspots of the city and the number of patients are increasing day by day. Shailesh Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Himachal Pradesh, in order to fight the pandemic effectively, the Kullu District Administration has set up COVID-19 Safety Shield at the main entrance of the district. More from our correspondent.
To ensure safety of residents, the district administration has established COVID-19 Safety Shield at the main entrance Bajora to check any symptomatic person. 2 transparent cabins have been built under the protective shell. One is to record the entire family of each person coming from outside the district and going out of the district by the police, and from other cabin, thermal screening of drivers and passengers with safety equipment is being carried out by the health department personnel. People coming from outside are being sent on quarantine only after thermal screening and getting travel history details. Kullu has become the first district in the state to install such armor to combat coronavirus. District administration Kullu has successfully implemented all the directives of the state government practically. As a result, no cases of corona infections have been reported so far in the district. Sanjeev Sundariyal, AIR News, Shimla.
Bihar recorded its highest number of COVID-19 cases in a day, with 145 people testing positive yesterday, taking the total to 1,178 in the state. 453 patients have recovered and 7 died. 718 are undergoing treatment in different hospitals. In an effort to guard against fake news being circulated on various platforms, we bring you a segment on fact-checking and mythbusters. A WhatsApp message circulating claims that workers who worked during 1990-2020 are entitled to receive 1.20 lakh rupees from Labour Ministry. Press Information Bureau in its tweet said the news is fake. There is no such announcement by Government of India.
India Meteorological Department has warned that the cyclonic storm Umpun is likely to intensify into a severe cyclonic storm in the next 12 hours and into a very severe cyclonic storm by tomorrow morning. Weathermen have warned of heavy rain in Odisha and West Bengal under its impact. The coastal districts of Gangetic, West Bengal, including North and South 24 Parganas, Kolkata, East and West Midnapore, Howrah and Hooghly will experience heavy rain on Tuesday and Wednesday. Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik reviewed the preparedness for the impending cyclonic storm, which is likely to affect Odisha coast from tomorrow. A report.
In the meeting, the Chief Minister has instructed to make adequate relief provision for the affected people and to preposition NDRF, ODRAF and Fire Services unit in different vulnerable locations. Similarly, the Energy Department should make necessary prior arrangements for the quick restoration of power supply. The fishermen in Odisha have been asked not to venture into deep sea in view of impending cyclone. The state government has meanwhile placed 12 coastal districts on alert and asked the district collectors to arrange the conflict shelter to evacuate people if such situation arises. Itish Singh Rathore, AIR News, Cuttack.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. In the national capital, minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius, while maximum temperature will be 41 degrees Celsius. Delhi is likely to witness dust storm or thunderstorm. Mumbai will experience mainly clear sky but partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature in the city is likely to be 28 degrees Celsius, while maximum will remain around 33 degrees Celsius. In the south, Chennai will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperatures will hover between 29 and 38 degrees Celsius. In the east, Kolkata will witness partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder lightning. The minimum temperature in the metropolis will be 27 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 38. On to north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature today will be 22 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while maximum will be around 37 degrees Celsius. The city will see mainly clear sky. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be 10 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 24. The region is likely to be partly cloudy, with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Similar weather is expected to prevail in Gilgit. The temperature will hover between 13 and 28 degrees Celsius today. In Muzaffarabad, there will be partly cloudy sky, becoming cloudy towards afternoon or evening. It will witness minimum temperature of 13 degrees Celsius and maximum temperature of 33 degrees Celsius.
And now, an overview of today's newspaper highlights. All the dailies today have mentioned the reform spree by the government, from coal to space, Bold reforms in key economic strategic sectors, writes the Tribune. The Asian Age notes, FM pushes Make in India hikes defense FDI. The Pioneer Coastal Railway over 1.4 million migrants ferried to their homestays till May 15. A first of its kind pink bloom in Mumbai wetland due to microscopic algae and bacteria producing beta-carotene has been reported in Hindustan Times under the headline, In Mumbai wetland, a spectacle in pink. Flamingos are known to feed on this algae.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government announces reforms in 8 key sectors. FDI in defence production hiked. Coal and mineral mining opened for private players. Phase 3 of lockdown ends today. Punjab government extends lockdown till 31st of May. Health Ministry issues guidelines for preparedness and response to COVID-19 in urban areas. Centre launches online dashboard to monitor movement of migrant workers. Railways ready to run Shramik special trains from all districts connected with rail network, says Railways Minister. 3 flights from UAE to arrive in India under Vande Bharat mission today. INS Jalashwa to reach Kochi this afternoon from Malé. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.